Hello, and welcome to Oldie but a Goodie, an original podcast where we review movies, which no one has ever done before. Except we actually did make it original by going back to very specifically 1994 and going through the year of 1994 as we live out in real life this year. So it sort of progresses as if we were there. It's the third week of February, and I'm joined here today by Sandro.
What's up, Danger?
Oh, hey, that's a good song. I love that song.
Good song. I don't know why.
Is your boy Zach here, and we're going to be looking at this fantastic movie that Sandro is such a big fan of. On Danger Bad.
We do swap who chooses the film each week, and it was
Yeah.
your
It
turn.
was my choice, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not a fan of my choice, funnily enough.
I
Why is that, Sandro? Tell us.
really hated this movie.
Really?
I don't know why, but it could be my distaste for Steven Seagal.
Okay.
I don't
Okay,
know.
that's fair. What's it called?
We're doing On Deadly Ground.
That's the one. And I had two other options, but they were garbage. Get them out of here.
I don't
Doesn't
think
matter.
they were. Look, one of them definitely was. You had three options. One was Blue Chips. It was a basketball movie with Shaq.
Yeah.
One of them I do want to watch. Reality
sad.
Bites, which is the satire by the Ben Stiller, and it looks pretty fun.
Yep. That sounds like a good movie. This movie, you're not a fan of at
No.
all. I personally had a bit of fun with it.
Alright.
I enjoyed it, mostly because it's like a bad movie, but I enjoyed it for its bad parts.
Yeah.
And I have to say, this is probably the most trope movie
Oh, yes.
ever.
Anyway, you want to know the details about this movie before we dissect
Oh,
it?
yeah. So what's the deets? Tell me the deets, Sandro.
On Deadly Ground, released Feb 18th, 94. Steven Seagal stars in it.
Yep.
Did you know he also directed it?
I did not know.
It's his first film that he ever directed. It came out pretty early in his career. He was like riding high on this movie called Under Siege,
Right.
which is it's like an underwater combat movie.
Sounds interesting.
It was a huge box office success. So like
There
it
you
makes
go.
sense that
Yeah.
a studio would be like, yeah, go ahead, make a film. We'll
Yeah,
give
yeah,
you
yeah.
creative control.
You do this.
It's also the last time he's ever directed.
Bum 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 bum. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yep. Okay. Well, bummer.
Yeah. I don't know, like he's an interesting guy. A ton of allegations have come out against him
Yeah,
over the last
feels
20 years.
Not great, honestly.
He's not the best actor, but like he was trying to get across a message in this film that,
Yeah.
it's not a bad message. So,
Yeah.
but this film also stars Michael Caine.
Yeah.
As the CEO of a company.
Yeah.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. It's me, Michael Caine. I like him as the evil dude because he's just a dick.
He is.
He's a great villain. He's probably the best character because he's such a blatant villain.
Yeah.
There's like, no, oh, he's somewhat good, he's somewhat bad. No, he's just the villain.
No redeemable qualities.
He has literally none. It's great.
What do you think this film has on Rotten Tomatoes?
20.
10%.
Oh,
Same as Intersection.
I would have rated it higher than Intersection, although there's a lot of things I would do that. Anyway,
The cinema score is a B+,
B+,
which is
okay.
not bad.
Isn't that the same as the other movie we did?
The other film got B+. Yeah, My Girl 2 got
My
a
Girl
B+
too. Yeah.
as well. It's very rare that a cinema score is below a C+, because audiences tend to be more positive towards films.
Yeah.
But like that's pretty good. I love this. My friend brought this up when we were watching it, and found a quote from Seagal saying, "Yeah, look, it wasn't received well critically, but I still think it's the most important film in my career."
Well, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was an expensive movie. It's 50 million. Yeah.
Oh, 50 million.
50 million.
Whoa.
It's
Okay, that's
the most
a lot
expensive
more.
film we've done so far, maybe?
No,
so.
I think Intersection was 60 or something.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right.
Let's
We're
not
in the same ballpark.
let's not dwell on the past, shall we? Anyway, if it's 50 million, no, it's not going to make back its money at all. I was going to guess 30 million. I'm still going to go with 30 million.
Oh, it did a little bit better than 30 million.
Oh, did it?
38.5 million.
Okay, 38.5 million. I was close on that one. I was close.
I mean, it's a flop.
Yeah, no, that's still a flop.
It made money, so...
Yeah, no, it still made more money than the last one, but still, like, a flop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing about this movie, just before we jump into it, is I enjoyed this for how bad it was.
Okay.
And so it's like one of those bad movies where you watch it and you laugh because of how bad it is. Okay. And you enjoy it because of how bad it is.
So it's sort of like Transmorphers.
Yes.
It's in that
100%. Like,
that sort of
I would watch that just because it's so bad it's entertaining.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas Intersection is really bad and not entertaining at all.
True.
In any aspect whatsoever. Screw you, Intersection.
What a movie.
Anyway, so it starts off with an eagle.
Ooh.
And some dramatic music.
The music was like a horror film meets the Inception soundtrack.
Yeah, no, it was like a
It's cool.
Yeah, it was epic, and then you got some mountains.
Oh, nice.
You got a polar bear.
Oh, a polar bear, okay.
You got a helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
You got fire.
Whoa!
you got a big fire happening at an oil rig.
Yeah, an oil rig's caught in flames and people are getting burnt. And they're like, who's gonna save us?
Out of a helicopter, a Native American just pops out.
Yep.
As we know, he is Forrest.
His name is Forrest.
That's Forrest.
Who's he played by?
No one important, really. He's not really
played by a seagull.
Character. Yeah, it's Seagull. He's
Seagull. Let's just call him Seagull from now on.
Yeah. Good old Seagull. Like, one flown in and, just started acting.
So, at first I was like, I'm pretty sure he's not Native American.
Yeah.
He's dressed like one, and it's...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was
not.
definitely my first impression was, why is he... Okay.
Yeah. He's not Native American, so I'm not...
This whole movie has a little bit of, like, that old sort of racist undertones.
It does.
Just throughout about Native Americans and all that.
It does have a reasonably diverse cast.
Yeah, it's pretty good in a lot of aspects, but also not great in other ones.
It's kind of mean-spirited, I think, is maybe.
I think it was stupid-spirited.
Okay, sure.
That's my official synopsis, was it was stupid-spirited.
All right.
Whereas they went to try and not be racist, but they were dumb.
Yeah, sure. Speaking of dumb, the first line of the movie.
Oh, yeah, the opening lines.
Steven Seagal comes out and is like, "Hey, Hugh, what's cooking?"
Yeah. Oof.
Because it's on fire, Zach.
Oh, I get it now. I thought he was just really hungry, Sandro.
It's just the stupidest.
There's so many dumb lines. This movie is the best movie for dumb quotes. It's so good.
And so many dumb quotes are packed into, like, the opening 3 minutes.
It's good. He has a talk with, like, the head guy there, the, like, commissioner or whatever, who's running the whole thing. Forrest then just grabs, like, this piece of metal as a shield.
Okay.
All right.
Zach, he goes into the fire with his metal shield. No mask.
No mask.
The heat of an oil rig exploding, like, it would melt.
Yes,
it would melt his face off.
He is Forrest.
Oh,
He eats carbon every day, so his skin forms a layer of protection.
Inconsistencies.
So he goes in, he sees the problem, and then he fixes it.
He fixes it by
blowing it up.
Yeah, he does.
He blows it up, which, to be fair, works.
He doesn't just blow it up, Zach. Mm-hmm. He blows it up and then intentionally looks back at the people facing away from the explosion.
Oh, it's great. He's holding this trigger and he's looking straight. Cool guys don't look at explosions.
It's exactly that.
It was dumb. And then he hops back on the helicopter and he's like, "Good work out there." And then they have a conversation of how...
It's Michael Caine. I think that's when we're introduced
to Michael Caine as the evil boy.
He's got an interesting accent. Like, I'm so used to him having a British accent in everything, but he's American in this.
So he talks and he's like, it could have been faulty equipment. And they're like, yeah, it could have been. It was definitely the commissioner, though. It's like, well, if it was the faulty equipment, you blew it up. And he's like, that you did.
I blew it up.
You blew up the evidence.
I don't know why I wrote this down, but in the helicopter scene, the guy sitting next to Michael Caine just had the blankest stare on his face. He was just like staring into nothing. And it was so distracting. In every scene in the helicopter.
That's great. That's fantastic. Anyway, so they cut to a bar where Forrest is having a solid drink.
Glug, glug, glug.
Thanks, Sandro.
I don't know.
Thank you for
sometimes
that.
I feel like I have to add in
you gotta add
some commentary
you gotta add
sets the scene.
Yeah, you gotta add those sound effects to make sure people understand that set the scenario. Anyway, so he's sitting at this bar, and then there's a couple of Caucasian individuals sitting at a table.
I think they are... It's established that they do work at
they're the oil rig people. But a Native American is asking around for money. But these oil rig workers are having none of it.
No.
He yells at him, "Don't bust my balls!" quote unquote.
So the guy comes up and asks, and the
Don't
oil worker...
bust my ball. He just starts yelling things at him.
He's pretty racist.
He like bullies this guy and like tosses him around a bit. Forrest then sort of gets up, walks towards him, and he's like, "Oh crap!" But then he doesn't fight him. He just goes to the bar.
And then Forrest sits down at the bar, has a conversation with the older oil rig owner person from the start of the film.
Yeah.
I think his name is Hugh, but
I misheard that entirely. At some point, I thought he called him Bubba. He might have just said Bub or whatever at some point, but I heard Bubba, so I just called him Bubba for the rest of my notes.
Bubba from here on out?
He is Bubba.
Great.
He's a smart boy. He figures out, this wasn't an accident. It was, done on purpose. Then the bad oil workers are also homophobic.
Yep,
as well.
They start getting homophobic.
Yep. Forrest gets angry, and he's gonna fight him.
Mm-hmm.
The bar lady is like, "Don't break anything."
Well,
and then immediately Forrest starts breaking everything.
He trashes
whenever he's destroys this place.
Whenever there's an action sequence, he destroys everything in his vicinity.
Yeah, no, it is like if he couldn't have broken more stuff if he was trying. How much he breaks this place up.
He just bashes up all of the racist oil.
Yeah, and then he has a slap game with.
The main one.
The main one. Which,
how does that work exactly?
I don't know. I think he's got to slap the top of the guy's hands.
Yeah.
And
then he can pull them out.
Yeah.
When he thinks he's gonna slap him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if he does that, the other guy gets to hit him.
Right.
But if he slaps the top of his hands, he gets to hit him. And of course, he wins every round, and he just beats up this guy.
Yeah.
Gives him a bloody nose.
He
then has some commentary about how long does it take for a guy to change or learn his lesson or some crap.
And the racist is like, "I'm sorry, you beat me up. I need to change."
Yeah, give me time to change.
It reminded me of this movie called Crash. Have you heard of Crash?
I think so.
It won Best Picture years ago.
It rings a bell.
But the twist is that it's awful. It's a terrible movie.
Oh, what a twist!
It's a movie about racism and all that. It tackles everything. And it does it all very badly.
Nice.
And I'm pretty sure at one point a character beats up another character so much they become not racist. And it just reminded me of that. And I was like, "Oh, not this again."
Yep.
So yeah. Anyway, he trashes the bar.
Yeah, he wrecks it. So then we cut to the rich evil dude,
Michael Caine.
And he's got to do an advertisement.
Such a bad accent.
It's partly my sheep impression. So now he's got to do this ad, where he puts on this fake smile and does this whole thing for the ad. Then immediately after he cuts, he like starts swearing about this nature and stuff. He's like, ugh, nature, these things stink, gross, evil, 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 evil. I hate nature, I'm evil.
I started to get the impression that Michael Caine was evil at this point.
Yeah, no, I also was getting this impression. I wasn't sure till later on, but right at this point where he was just screaming the evilest things he could, I was getting the distinct impression.
Yeah. He has a meeting with his, I guess, like second in hand.
Yeah.
This actress who looks identical and sounds just like Jennifer Lawrence.
I didn't notice it. Not at any point had that occurred to me.
But
so yeah,
she's a pretty good actress.
Yeah, no, she's
I think like
actually pretty good.
Like her and Michael Caine, solid performances.
Yeah.
Everyone else,
it's
a bit hit or miss.
Hit or miss.
So they have a meeting to plan the biggest oil rig ever to oil rig.
Yep. But they have to make it soon.
Yes.
Because they have to have it up and running in 13 months or days or something.
It could be. Yeah, I think it might even be days. Yeah.
Yeah, 13 days. Otherwise, they lose their contract, and then Native Americans get it back.
They get that land back, and so they've got to quickly
which they can't have. You don't want to have the natives having anything, because we're evil rich people.
And this is where Forrest becomes ultimate hacker.
Yeah, he's super MacGyver action hero man.
Yeah. And
he knows everything. Anyway, so he has clearance to go and have a look in the database. He finds evidence that it was sabotaged by the company. So
the first oil rig.
Yeah, the first oil rig that he fixed.
Yeah. He also finds details in the one they're building, right? And that it's kind of faulty.
Yeah. That they're cutting corners just so they can make it on time. So they find out and they're like, well, we're going to have to deal with him.
Gonna have to take care of Mr. Forrest. We're going to have to cut him down like a forest. I just wrote a better line than what they actually says in the movie.
It's not hard. So they, the next scene, they go over to the old guy's place.
Bubba.
Good old
Hugh.
Bubba.
His
Bubba. I think you mean Bubba. They go to Bubba's place, who's currently going through the database himself.
Yeah. He's got like a bunch of files on the older oil rig as well.
Yes.
That could be evidence against them.
Yes. So he saves them onto a floppy disk, which is a nice little dated.
I miss
piece.
Floppy disks.
Yeah.
They were so unreliable and bad, but I miss them.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you could only put 2 pictures on a floppy disk?
Oh,
and then it maxed out its storage.
So all those 2 megabytes. Ooh.
You know, like
2 megabytes was expensive though.
It was expensive.
Like 500 kilobytes.
Have you seen all of these podcasts are like making these USB, but it looks like a tape recorder?
Oh, right.
Where they put like some of their episodes onto it.
Yeah,
we should do that for floppy disks.
We should do that. Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool.
Corner in a market, an untapped market. Anyway,
untapped market of floppy disks. Yeah, you're right. Should we make them into USBs, or should we just have floppy disks with our podcast?
We're bringing them back.
You're bringing them back. No one's going to be able to listen to them because they're on floppy disks.
It'll be like 2 minutes an episode.
Yeah.
Every episode will be on like 100 floppy disks.
Oh no, that's so bad. Anyway, so he hides the evidence. They come over. They're like, Bubba.
A bunch of mercenaries are like this.
Where did that evidence happen? He's like, I'm not going to tell you. Ah, yes. Well, you see, we're going to break all your fingers. And then they have a scene which is like, this is rated MA for a reason.
It's pretty full on.
Yeah, they crack up all his fingers till they're a nice little paste.
There's also a really good bit of dialogue while they're doing this.
Yeah. What is that?
The guy, he looks at him and is like, you've got to help us.
Yeah.
You got to help us. There is no I in team.
Oh,
all I hear from you is I.
All I hear is I. There's no I in team. This is like his voice as well, because he's getting hysterical. There's no I in team.
It's spelled Team.
Oh yeah,
he gives him a spelling lesson.
Oh,
it's such a good line.
Then they murder him with a giant monkey wrench thing.
Yep,
They just.
I don't know how that. I guess they cut off his fingers and then.
I think they just.
Or they just stab.
Yeah, just
I don't know
whack
how it
him
works.
over the head.
But
they don't
kill him
show it.
with...
He's dead. He's
They kill
dead.
him
He's
with
an
a
old
metal
man.
thing.
Bubba's dead. R.I.P. Bubba.
I liked his character.
Yeah, me too. I liked good old Bubba.
Anyway, cut to another press conference.
Yeah, they have a press conference. He's like explaining all these things. He's like, oh yeah, we care for nature, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he tries to leave, and then the Native American
Joan
female...
Chen, I think, played her. Yeah.
Yeah. She comes over with a good old cup of oil and just spills it on his suit.
She's like, oh, I'm Michael Caine. You wrecked my...
You-
That's bad voice. You should do it.
I'm Michael Caine. It's me,
Oh,
Michael
no.
Caine.
It's the Doctor from Blink.
It's me, Michael Caine. Boy, you just wrecked my new suit. Anyway.
Hi, Doctor from Blink.
Hi, it's me,
How have you
Doctor
been going?
from Blink. I don't know, my accent keeps changing and
Have you
developing
fixed
with
many
time.
eyes recently?
Not particularly, no. Not since my last patient wouldn't go out with me, so I didn't want to.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah, yikes. Anyway.
So Michael Caine sprayed with oil and he's angry. That's all.
Yeah,
that
it wrecks his new suit. Anyway, so then he has a talk with Forrest, and he's like, hey, can you help us out with one last thing?
One last job.
We need you to fix this, which of course he goes to this one thing, and inside the building he finds the dead body and the evidence and stuff. And then the whole place explodes.
It was a trap.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
And
He should have died then as well.
no, but you
Because
see
he's...
Sandra,
because he narrowly runs out.
Yeah, he runs out
Right.
just in time for the explosion just to launch him.
Then we see a bunch of dog sleds and the native Alaskans. They come and save him. From this explosion and like heal him back to health in their village. Then Michael Caine holds another press conference where he tries to convince everyone that the latest accident, the explosion in the snow, as well as the oil rig at the start, they were actually acts of sabotage. And
Bum, bum, bum.
the people who sabotaged them were Forrest and Hugh.
I think you mean Bubba. Forrest and Bubba.
And they're both dead.
Yep.
They got killed in the final explosion.
Yep.
Now look, if this was real,
Yep.
if this happened in real life,
Yeah.
and Michael Caine came out and made these allegations,
Yep.
the FBI would get involved right then and there.
Yeah.
They would show up, they would interview everyone, the police would be hanging around. Chances are the oil rig they're trying to build,
Yep.
just work on that will get shut down while the
No.
investigation
Yeah,
takes
they would
place.
investigate to look for explosives and other things.
Yeah.
Just make sure it's not
It
sabotage.
would completely shut down. The FBI do get involved later.
Yeah, later, but
But
no, you're right. They should have shown up then and there to be like, what the heck is going on
Yeah.
with these allegations and stuff. Anyway, we cut back to the Native American guys.
Yep.
And he explains to him that he is a spirit warrior
yes.
of the bear, and the bear is there to protect the land from
From the oil company.
from the oil companies. But now the oil companies don't fear the bear. So he's got to become the bear.
Yeah.
Forrest then goes on a dream sequence after being attacked by a feather. Yeah, so they're sitting around.
this.
No. They're sitting around a campfire, and they're telling him he needs to go on a spiritual journey. The chief, who's been talking to him, pulls out this feather. And then just bops him on the forehead with this feather, which immediately knocks Forrest just completely out.
Yeah.
He's just out of it. Then he has a dream sequence.
There was one scene where he goes into a cave and I was reminded of Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, that's true. There's like nude people just dancing around, which was weird.
It was.
And then he meets this old spirit lady who then like explains that he needs to be the bear. We sort of see him breaking out of this dream as he bursts out of a river in real life.
So when he got hit by the feather, he fell into...
No, he didn't fall. He just collapsed on the fireplace. They must have moved him to a river
Okay.
and thrown him in the river. because then he bursts out of this river, which I thought was great. I wrote down drowning time because if he hadn't woken up from the dream sequence, he would have drowned.
Okay.
Which is a solid time. Spirit Warrior needs to go and fight the bad guys, so he gets a sick ride.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently they just have this motor sled or whatever they're called.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a sick ride.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's pretty awesome.
Solid ride. That's when they go over to
Bubba's house.
Bubba's house.
Yep.
To try and find some guns and clothes and stuff like that.
Yep.
Some weapons.
They find where he's hidden the floppy disk.
That's right.
And they find more evidence against the big bad oil rigs.
Yeah. And you'd think that with that evidence, you'd go to the FBI or go to the cops and shut down the oil rig.
That's what the lady suggests doing. But he's like, no, we gotta fight him. There was once a time to do these things, but now we gotta fight him.
The oil people are evil, and I'm gonna kill them all.
Anyway, so they ride up this mountainy area, and they get to like this shack that he's prepared.
Yeah, the cabin with all the explosives.
Literally packed full of explosives. Like they've been crammed in there.
Yeah.
There's like a bajillion C4. He's got grenades. He's got claymores or whatever they are.
Yeah.
He's got just all these explosives, and she's like, what?
He is prepared to do something.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I'm a little scared.
Yeah, no, but at this point he is terrifying. He grabs all the explosives he needs and then sets the place to explode.
Yeah.
He sends a message or a radio signal, which the helicopter tracks onto. The helicopter gets there and it explodes and takes out this helicopter. At this point, I thought that for the amount of explosives in that, there should have been a way bigger explosion.
It was reasonably tame, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that should have taken out half the mountain with how much explosives were in there. Yeah. It was kind of ridiculous, but anyway.
He rides through the forest and sees a bit of a clearing and goes, I bet there's some people following me. I'm going to set some traps here.
The bad guys following him spot the very first trap and they're like, oh, I thought he would be better than this. A Cub Scout could have found that trap. Ha 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 ha. I'll just go around it. Walks his horse around it. Immediately dies from the trap that was set up there.
He's the one that gets hit with a bunch of marbles.
Yes.
And they just tear him apart.
Yep.
Yep.
Ouch.
It's pretty full on this scene.
It's pretty brutal.
Someone gets impaled.
Yeah, impaled on some spikes and stuff like that. It's pretty brutal.
Yeah. The body count in the movie already is crazy high.
Yeah,
he has murdered a lot of people. So many people.
Yep.
And it gets worse from this point out. I'm pretty sure the FBI show up at this stage.
Yeah,
they show up at like the new oil rig to talk to Michael Caine
because they know where he's heading towards now, which is the new rig. So they put up this extra super safe security, and they get the FBI in to make it even more secure. And they just securing it all up, and he just waltzes in willy-nilly and just takes out one guy, and he's in, and he's already destroying things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Forrest.
Yep.
Just walks in, pretty much.
Just walks in. He does a MacGyver move.
Oh, yeah. No, he grabs, like, a bottle that someone's left lying around.
Coke?
Yeah, like a Coke bottle or something.
Yeah.
And pours out the rest of the liquid, and then uses a bit of tape to MacGyver it into a silencer. Yeah. Which he then shoots this guy with.
I've got a serious question. He's a terrorist at this point, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, he's not great.
He's killing a lot of people. He's destroying,
but you see, Sandro, they're the bad guys.
But see, my issue with this movie, it comes in perfectly here because the way that this film was set up was a socially conscious, environmental commentary.
Yep.
But now it's just a straight up action movie. In the context of this movie being an environmental commentary, he is a terrorist. Now,
Yes.
in the context of this being just a silly action film, which it actually is, but didn't sell itself to be,
Yeah.
he's just been an action hero.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, it's got this weird double message that I was not on board for.
Okay. Yeah, I certainly see that. I mean, obviously we know he's the bad guys, but from everyone else's perspective, he does warn the people after he set it up to blow up. He does go out and like warn people that it's going to blow up.
He
and
still
everyone
killed
runs
a
away.
bunch of the people just doing their jobs though.
Yeah,
so...
no, it's not great.
Anyway, and also he's so worried about the environment. All of the smoke, and just everything polluting the air
but
from destroying this oil factory.
To be fair, over time the oil factory would have made more.
True.
So, like,
yeah, true.
It's still saving the environment. Anyway,
what are some of the deaths that we have here? Because they're pretty full on.
Yeah. So, he sets off some explosions, and they know he's back.
Yeah.
That's a line. He releases a poison, and the bad guys have to go another way.
Mm-hmm.
And I put in a note here. I'm like, this is during the movie. I'm like, wow, they just completely fails to stop him doing anything he wants. He's just going through and doing what he wants. The main mercenary guy then yells at his subordinates that they have to look sharp because this guy's the real deal.
He's the real deal.
He's the guy that they send the subordinates over to teach them how to do things. He's not a student. He's the teacher. He'd drink a liter of gasoline to piss on your campfire and other such lines. So, it was great.
To try and scare the other mercenaries, he just
into action.
He just goes. It goes on for like a minute. It's just him talking about how scary Forrest is.
No,
it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's great. Then we have the fight scene between, like, the main henchman of the evil dude fights Forrest. He begs for mercy. He's like, I have all this evidence. And Forrest is like, do you have that evidence on you now? And he's like, yeah, sure I do. And he tries to fight him, and then he gets sliced into the helicopter blades.
Yeah, he does an Indiana Jones.
Yep, he does a classic Indiana Jones. Forrest tosses him into a helicopter. Mm-hmm. The other lady,
Jennifer Lawrence
is like, nah, screw this. Runs, gets in a vehicle, just slams on the accelerator, running away as fast as possible. Looking at Forrest, she like swears at him, turns back to look where she's going, and she slams right into a oil tank.
Yeah.
A fuel tank of some sort.
The oil starts to leak out, gets closer and closer to the flames. And boom, she's gone.
Yep. At some point, someone says, I want to feel solid.
What?
Yes.
You wrote down some weird notes.
I quoted quotes.
Yeah.
And I have no recollection of where this bit is in the movie, but I've got it in quotes. It's, I want to feel solid. Which is, I guess, is why I wrote it down, because that's a line.
So Forrest races into the control room to try and... I don't know, like, shut off some stuff.
It's great. It's one of my favorite scenes of this movie because at first I thought he was, like, hitting certain keys to, like, sabotage everything. But as he keeps going, you can clearly see he's just button mashing. And it's amazing that he's just going and button mashing things and things are just going wrong.
Anyway.
And it's great.
It's pretty funny. He does that. He sets the whole place to blow up.
Yep.
Before he leaves, like he's getting ready to leave, Michael Caine comes up to him and is like, "What are you doing, you evil man?" And Forrest is like, "I may be an evil man, but you are the scum of the earth."
Yep. You're not even gonna shoot me. You wouldn't shoot a guy in the back, and he just turns around and starts walking.
And Forrest is like, "You're right, I won't shoot a guy in the back. I won't dirty my bullets.
I wouldn't shoot you." He then lassos him with a bit of rope or wire or something, hooks him up to the ceiling, dangles him. I wrote, hang 10. because that's what he does.
Yeah.
He sort of hangs 10 above the oil pit, obviously. He's just hanging there.
They have a bit of a conversation.
He's like, shoot me, you macho asshole. And then he shoots the wire or whatever that's holding him.
Yeah.
And the evil dude falls into the oil. Which is a very ironic death, obviously, because he's the rich guy.
So silly.
Yeah.
I like it, though.
Yeah, anyway.
They run out. They've got like 10 seconds until everything blows up. So they jump in a car and narrowly escape all the explosions.
And it blows up.
Well,
yay!
I was sort of expecting a big Death Star explosion where the entire facility goes up in flames.
I thought the explosion was fine. I thought it was a good explosion.
Instead, it just sort of... Like, there's
a bunch of, it explodes and collapses and stuff.
It does collapse.
I feel like you're putting too much expectations on this movie.
Anyway.
You've watched the rest of the movie. How are you disappointed at this point?
They escape.
They escape, and then we cut to a conference.
Yep.
Where Forrest then sort of preaches about big companies and stuff and how they're ruining the environment.
He says something like, we the people need our own representative in Congress to stop oil companies. Yeah. And in the future, everyone's going to be driving electric cars and all that. Which I don't disagree with. It comes after a not great film.
It feels a little forced. But yeah.
I did have a thought. Though, with everything he's done, I'm pretty sure. I mean, number one, he's not getting out of that. He's going to jail.
He's being arrested immediately by the FBI. I don't know how he's not incarcerated already.
But because he had help from that Native American lady, the Native Americans in that region are going to get investigated. Yeah, like they're going to be suspected of doing stuff like this. He's just made things worse. I think.
You might have a point there. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, no. That's a fair point.
Anyway, that's the film. The end.
Woohoo.
What did you think?
What did I think? No, Sandra, what did you think?
I think I made it pretty clear.
You haven't been very clear on this subject, what you've thought of this movie. Please do tell.
I can get why you'd watch this and be like, it's so bad, it's funny.
Yeah.
And there are some, okay action sequences that aren't bad.
Yeah.
But, it's not good.
Okay.
And just watching an entire movie of Steven Seagal being like, I'm the greatest person and I'm going to save everyone. I'm just like, no. Yep. So, it's an oldie from me.
All right. So, you know how you didn't like this film?
Yeah.
Oldie, you didn't like it.
No.
Well, I kind of enjoyed it. Just for how bad it was. Just for its corny lines and just all the tropes ever being used in every situation. I enjoyed it. I'm giving it an oldie because it is an old garbage movie. Yeah. I'm giving it an oldie, but I personally enjoyed it mostly because I think I like action films.
Okay.
So it's my kind of film as well. That sort of helped it.
Yeah.
I personally enjoyed it. I wouldn't let other people...
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend it to other people. The, weird racism, it's not handled very well.
It's not.
And I feel like they could make the same movie but just 20 million times better.
All right. Yeah.
So I have to give it an oldie, even though I personally enjoyed it. I still have to probably rate it an oldie.
Okay, fair enough.
Yep.
If you've seen it, we'd love to know what you thought.
Yeah, what did you think? Leave us a comment.
You can
subscribe.
Yep.
Make a review on iTunes.
That's right.
Add us to your favorites on Spotify.
Yes.
Retweet us on Twitter.
We're not on Twitter. You can email us, oldiebuttagoodiepod@gmail.com.
You can message Obama on Facebook.
What? Don't do that.
And tell him what a great podcast this is.
Don't bother.
Get him to shill for us.
Let's do some review shout-outs. We've gotten some more reviews on iTunes. Shout out to J-Boy, who said...
Boy.
There's a great natural banter between these two. Makes you want to dig into the classics.
Dig into that classics.
I don't know.
I
don't know if we've reviewed any certified classics so
no.
far. Also, shout out to Reese, who says this podcast is hosted by two people equipped with the great tools at their disposal: experience in podcasting, we do have that; experience at reviewing pieces of entertainment, Got that. A great shared sense of humor. I'm not sure about that.
We'll agree to disagree on that.
We've got a shared sense of humor. Is it great?
Great's a strong word, I feel.
Thanks, Reese.
Yeah, thank you, Reese. You might be wrong on a few points here, but we definitely agree that I'm pretty great, and I'm glad you agree with that.
I'm on the fence.
Uh-huh.
I'm on the fence. I don't know. I think maybe another 10 more years.
Don't be on the wrong side of history, Sandro.
Anyway. If you do want to leave us a review on iTunes, it would really help, and we'll give you a shout out when we see it.
I'd be appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's the episode. I'm choosing what we're doing next week, though. Zach,
so
what do we got?
You get to choose from.
All right.
Sugar Hill.
Okay.
Which is a Wesley Snipes crime film.
Wesley Snipes. He's Blade.
I don't know about that one. And then there's another option, which is 8 Seconds.
Some intriguing title.
Yeah, no, 8 Seconds. It's about a rodeo cowboy that rides on bulls.
Oh, bull riding.
Yeah, bull riding guy. And he becomes the best bull rider in the world.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got Sugar Hill.
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes action.
Yeah.
We've got 8 Seconds about bull riding.
Bull riding, and I think it's based on a true story.
I sort of want to learn something about bull riding.
Yeah, bull riding? You have a curiosity for bull riding?
I don't think I've seen a film with that as the main premise before.
Actually, no, that's a good point.
I've probably seen 20 films very similar to that Wesley Snipes one.
That's fair. I've also never seen a film about bull riding.
Should we do that?
Yeah,
then?
let's do it.
All right.
Let's watch one about bull riding.
What's it called again?
8 Seconds.
Next episode, 8 Seconds.
Yeah.
If I chose wrong, I am sorry.
Yep.
But we'll do it anyway.
Hey, we'll see.
We do end with our favourite quote from the film we just saw, though. What's your favourite quote from On Deadly Ground?
Okay, so On Deadly Ground's a really hard one because there's so many quotes I like. I'll just go with your one first.
All right. Mine has to be when the people invade Bubba's house.
Yep.
And they're like, all I hear from you is I. There's no I in team. It's spelled TEAM.
That's fair enough. I have... he would drink a liter of gasoline to piss on your campfire.
That's a good way to end it. We'll see you next week.
See ya.